right, so with the cover, top cover, we start with it inside out like this because we're going to roll it down over the frame. So a lot of times I'll start kind of pushing the top in a little bit just to get it started. Going to flip the first couple inches in. About like that. So I just got it kind of caved in on the top. So that way when I put it on the, put it up there, it's gonna be a little bit easier. So there we go, kind of even like that. So pushed in. So now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna lean it back. So we get the hog ring across the center and Velcro's running up and down. So I'm going to get a hog ring set up in my pliers. Set that to the side. Then I'm going to put this onto here. A lot of times I would do this with a seat on the floor so I can look down over it a little easier. But this one's short enough I can probably do it right here. So we got the holes already pre-cut for the headrest, little headrest poles. So that can be a real good guide to make sure you get it on right. So lining those up over the hole. Twist it a little bit. That's looking pretty good. So you're going to look at the seams at the top of the top of the seat because they're running left and right across the top. Just look down at that seam and make sure it's straight. It's not sitting crooked, cockeyed one way or the other. So that way you know you're lined up. Plus you'll see that your holes, the pre-cut holes for the headrest, are lined up. And you can see the hole in the frame and the foam and everything. So that way, you know you're pretty good. This is looking all right. So, okay, I'm going to get down to the first hog ring strip. So I'm going to roll it down a little bit more. Just kind of scoot it down a little bit more, a little on each side. Okay, we got enough for that. All right, now, get this down a little too far. I'll pull it back up a little bit. To our hog ring bar. Okay. So now take our hog rings, hook this across the center. So much. If you have to cut a hog ring because you didn't get it hooked right, make sure you pull all the little pieces out of the foam, because those things will find their way to work to the front and wind up poking you at some point. So if you do cut any off in there, make sure you pull them out. Okay, all three hog rings are there. Okay, now we're going to work our way down, work our cover down. This is a whole lot easier if it's on the ground, but I should be able to get it down. Let's see. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to lay it on its back. So I want to set on my Velcro. First, I'm going to look at it straight on and make sure everything's straight, because I've got this hog ring strip attached already. So I want to make sure everything's looking good up top. See if I need to change anything or... Let's see. I'm gonna bring this side up a little bit. Side down. Okay. Now we're looking pretty straight. I had this side was a little too far down, so I want to get it up, pull this down a little bit, make it even up. Now we're looking pretty even. The top half, we'll go and get our hand up underneath, and we're gonna set this Velcro. Let's see, I've got a recline lever. Sometimes it's easier to get up underneath. We'll take I'm not gonna hook it all the way on, but I'm gonna recline this thing back. There we go. Now we can get up underneath here to get our Velcro set. That way I can feel, with these two fingers I can pinch the back of the seam that has the Velcro on it. And then I can, with my other hand, I can kind of guide it down into the channel for it to attach. And then roll it over, push in real hard, make sure it's all hooked. Yep. Same thing on the other side. You should see a real nice defined seam where it comes down, falls in. You can tell it's hooked on. If it's baggy like this, where that seam isn't really tight down in there, you know the Velcro's not hooked. So just make sure when you're coming back pushing the Velcro, if you push in on the foam to collapse it in, gives you extra slack, and then you can push down into that seam, make it hook. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Okay, there we go. Now we can see all that's attached real well. Velcro sitting down deep in it. Let's go ahead and stuff the clip underneath. So we'll roll this guy, stick it underneath, feed it through. Not a lot of room to get it through, but all right, let me de-recline it. Give me some more room to get that through. There we go. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Don't quite have it all the way. Okay. There we go. Okay, so here's our clip. Pulling it through nice and tight. Okay, now that's going to hook onto this clip. This pulls this way, and this is going to roll over and hook to it. These are just two C channels they'll lock to each other, I guess like this. That's how they hook. So that's what we're going to do there. Pull this through, stretch this guy down, roll it over and get it to clip. These are pretty tight, so if you need a pair of regular flathead or a pry tool to kind of be able to put in that catch to give you a little more leverage to push it, to stretch it. There we go, that's hooked. Now we got this back flap that's on the back of the seat. It's got a little elastic band on it. There's gonna be a little hole in that band. If there's not a hole, poke one. This one's got a little one in it. It's got those same push tabs as the bottom cover did that hooked into the little plastic, the little white circle. Same kind of tab's gonna go through that one, through the elastic and hook on. So I'll pull this down. I'll stick it through there. Okay. And that comes down to this hole in the middle. Push it, that's good. Okay. Now our top is on. Now if you had, this is the non-airbag seat. I'm gonna throw that airbag one up. It goes on, it's gonna go on the exact same way. You turn it inside out, roll it down, same procedure. But when you're doing if you happen to have the airbag model, you got your airbag canister built on the side of the seat there. The airbag top has these two flaps that hook on. I'll show you on the back of it where those go. Just like when Rollo was taking it apart.
All right, guys, this part's gonna be if you have a Transit that happens to have the side impact airbags in the seat, the easiest way to know is it's actually gonna say airbag on the tag on the side of it, okay? If yours doesn't say that, you don't have to worry about this section. Specifically, this is for people with airbag in the seat. So the way we know it's got a tag on there, right? When we roll the seat up, everything comes apart just like a regular one does, except here on the sides, you're gonna notice that it's got airbag material and it's gonna be hoggering to the back. So all we're gonna have to do is snip those hog rings. There's gonna be two straps that hold it in place. Get that first one. We continue to roll our cover up, right? Just like normal, until we get to the second strap, which is gonna be a little bit further up. And essentially what that material is gonna be doing is it actually guides the airbag in the correct direction, right? So that way it doesn't accidentally blow in your back or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and snip the second hog ring. And that's gonna let our airbag loose. And as you can see, it's actually visible here, the airbag canister itself. That's where the airbag deploys. It's gonna blow out through this seam, and this material actually guides it through there. So everything, the thread used here is actually a little bit weaker, and that way it blows out and everything works correctly. And we get that tested out and everything, make sure it works just like a manufacturer would.
Plus on the front of the airbag covers and frames, it didn't have any Velcro. They're all hog rings. So the hog ring, the verticals are hog ring, horizontals hog ring. That's the only difference. Everything goes on the same way. You just have to work your way down and hog ring it all the way down versus setting the Velcro. So set that aside. Okay, next thing we got, let's go and put all of our trim panels on. Let's do that next. So here we go. We'll start with the big panel on the side. All right, we need screws. 2 screws at the end. We'll start with this. So this panel goes on the side here. So here's our tabs. You got a tab here where actually it's not really a tab, it's got a little slot in it, and these metal parts go into it. So there's one here, there's one here, and one here. So this will start out forward and pull back into those slots, and then we got one push connection right there, that little quick connect that locks it in. So we're gonna start forward. I'll probably tilt it on its side, make it a little easier. Okay. So we'll line these guys up. pushes down. There we go. Come on back. There we go. You'll know you got it far enough back because you got the hole on the side right here where the recline knob goes. Make sure that the metal post is right in the center of that hole. That way you know you got it far enough back. If you don't see that post, or if it's all the way to the front of it, you need to make sure you keep pushing it back. So that looks like we're pretty good there. Okay, now there's going to be a couple screws in the back. Yep, okay. These are our Torx T25, these two screws. There we go. When you screw these back in, if you're using an impact or something, make sure you turn the torque way down on it, because it's all plastic, you're threading into plastic. Tighten it too much, it's just going to strip it out. So either do it by hand or set your setting way down on your impact or your drill, or get it all the way, most of the way in, and then finish it up with a hand drill, hand screwdriver deal with a Torx bit on it. So don't torque them hard, because it'll strip it out in a flash. There we go. Those two. We got another piece. This little guy here. So this guy's got, let me show you a close up of that. Hooks at the bottom. So these two hooks, and then the top down's got these latches. So this is gonna push straight down. So you're gonna hook the bottom first. It's gonna start up high, but this little rim right here is what these catches are gonna go into. There we go. Make sure we're up above, down, and just push it down. Simple as that. Really easy. Line those up. Okay, next we're gonna grab our recline knob. So this has got the little retainer clip on it as well. Let me show. This guy comes off. You can set this back on whenever you pull it off. You can set this clip. So here's the clip. This thing pulls off straight up. Right here. So there's your clip. The clip goes from the top down. So when you have it off, you pull it off to be able to take this off, but then go ahead and reset your pin, because whenever you put it back on, you can just push it back and it'll snap into place. So go ahead and set that ring first, and then you can just literally push it back onto the frame. You'll be good to go. I'll get my little needle nose, get this little guy on. There we go. Okay, cool. Now this guy will just pop on. Easy as that. Snaps on. Okay, we got a side panel on the other side. Okay. So just like the other side, only two catches. So there's two slots that the metal posts slide into. So we'll line those up. Goes in the back. Same two little screws in the back. T25s. So we have to get the seat belt through this guy. Let's see here. Ooh, that's sharp. There we go. No blood yet, so we're good. All right, now it might be easier to get this guy up. See if we can flex this thing in. Yeah, we're going to have to get it that way, actually. Okay. So now that we're around that guy, let's see if we can pull this enough forward for our pieces here to line up. Okay. There we go. There's a pretty clear shot through the side that you can see for those two tabs to line up to slide in. So that's good. Let's pull this back, make sure it's around here. Let's come back a little bit more, it seems like. There we go. Okay, now we'll get our two screws again. T25. Okay, there we are. Okay, now that's on. So now our side panels are on and good to go. There's two more things we gotta do to this rig. We gotta cut, no, we got the holes already cut. We gotta put the post back in for the headrest, and we need to cut the hole in the side for the armrest to go back on. Plus put the armrest on and put the cover for the headrest on. So I guess there's more than two things.